Hey YouTube, it's Jimmy and
Millie.
back with Boots and Bows Outdoors. And today's video, I'm going to make up my seed starting mix. It's a special proprietary blend with some very specific ingredients that I measure out carefully. And if you believe that, I've got some land to sell you.
In the swamp over there.
Yeah, back that way. Yeah, it's actually it's a pretty easy mix. I use some peat moss and a little bit of potting soil and some perlite. If I can get vermiculite, I'll use that. Either one works pretty well for aeration and moisture, holding the moisture. The peat moss is good for water absorption, and there goes Peanut running in the back. For holding moisture for these seeds to get going. You want something that's kind of light and fluffy, and the reason I mix a little potting soil in with it, I just want something with a little nutrients in there so that the plants will survive once they start coming up, because some of these plants we're going to be planting on the Mississippi ponderosa, and so therefore maybe a few days before we get out there. Could be couple of weeks, depending on what's going on. We have grandkids that like to have parties and stuff, and
5 grandkids.
5, yeah.
No, 4.
Well, yeah, 4. 4, yeah. I let her keep track of that. Anyway, so we're gonna do some planting. We're gonna do some seed starting today. I'm going to do the mix, and then we're going to start the seeds in this video. We're doing another video.
Nope, we're going to start the seeds. So we'll do the mix. We'll start our seeds. And then in subsequent videos, we'll show you amending our buckets that we have, that we'll be planting in, and making our raised bed, because we don't have one here, so we have to make one here.
Yeah.
So that'll be our next video. But today we'll be starting the seeds.
Yep. So,
okay.
Let me get set up for that, and we'll bring you right back.
All right.
All right, so we're going to add our peat moss to the bin. Just some dry peat moss that I buy in a bale. Normally, I would actually sift this to get the sticks and all out, but when I went to get my sifter, it was broken. It was out of commission. I haven't used it in over a year, so we will just have to, as we're starting the seeds and all that, and while I'm doing this, we're going to take and pull out the big sticks. Okay, so put our peat moss in here, take and kind of crumble this up, get all of the big pieces out of there. Normally in a garden, all of this stuff would just break down and become part of the soil, but starting seeds, we're not going to have that luxury. So okay, yeah, a little more. Break that down. Then we're going to add some potting mix, and again, this is just to help feed the seeds while they're sitting there waiting to go into the ground. Fortunately, it's warm enough outside and inside that once we get these seeds started, we're gonna be able to just move them straight outside. Don't have to do the hardening off like some people in the really cold climates have to do. A few good handfuls of that. Mix that around. Put a little bit more. Okay, well, the higher quality potting mix, a lot of times you're not going to find fairly large chunks like this. When I'm putting it in buckets or in, you know, bins like this to plant, this is no big deal because it's going to break down eventually, and we do amend the bucket, so this stuff will break down. Seed starting, if you can grab this kind of stuff out while you're mixing, that would be a good thing. So I'll just throw that over there in a bucket, and we'll just kind of mix it in. And again, this is just to help with moisture and hopefully a little bit of a nutrients for the plants. Once they start growing, we'll probably take a little liquid fertilizer and put in there. Okay, so now we've got our peat and the potting mix mixed in there. Okay, I'm going to add some perlite. Vermiculite would be good because it actually has some moisture holding properties. The perlite is good because it helps keep the soil from compacting from, you know, when you're watering the seeds, making sure that you got moisture in there, it can compact. So that's why you don't want to use just soil. You want to use this, you know, at least peat moss, and again I use some potting soil. This happens to be put up a Miracle-Gro, so it does have some Miracle-Gro plant food in it, which will also help out with the plants, you know, surviving till we can get out there. And so we're going to put some perlite in there, keep everything nice and fluffy. Probably put some of this in with the carrots too when we plant those. We'll just mix everything well. And honestly, I thought I had vermiculite, but when I went and grabbed a bag, it was perlite. So we'll go with that. We'll be flexible. See, like, here's a big chunk. Okay, it would not be good for seed starting. So throw that in a bucket over there somewhere. And then as we start filling seed trays, we'll pull out the bigger junk, put it to the side, and either throw it in a pot or put it in a compost pile. And if you had compost, that would be great to mix in it. My compost pile is still small, it's still working. I just started it not too long ago. So it's going. Okay, so now we have some beautiful seed starting mix.
Hey everybody, while Jim is outside in the heat, I am here in the air condition and I am setting up our trays so that we can start our seeds. He's mixing up the soil and I am preparing our seed starters. This is what we use. We use egg cartons. We buy a lot of eggs. Hopefully our chickens will stop us from doing that pretty soon. But for now, we have a lot of egg cartons, and so we like to recycle them, and this is how we recycle them. We make our seed starters with them. So the only thing I do to prepare them for Jim is we've counted up how many seeds we're going to plant, and basically it's easy for me. We just do a row of each seed, and then I mark on here what it is that we have planted. And there are a couple that we are planting 2 rows, so I designated a whole egg tray to those. Because some, like we told you in the last video, some of the seeds stay here, but some of them go to Mississippi. So we want to have a few. So what I do is I take this little picky thing and I poke a hole at the bottom so that the water can drain out. And I do that with all of the trays. Then Jim's going to bring the soil in and we'll fill the trays up with the soil. We'll plant the seeds, we'll mark what they are, and then we put them in these reused metal trays, and it makes it easy for us. See how they kind of just fit right in there? And it makes it easy for us to transport them. in and out. So we may put them outside to germinate, or we may leave them inside depending on the weather to germinate. And if they do get moved outside for germination and then we have a storm come through, we want an easy way to bring them back in. So this worked out really well in the spring, and we'll do this again. And what I can do too is I can stack egg cartons in a row like this if they're the same size, and I can fit more in here. So that's basically it. So I'm gonna finish poking holes in my egg cartons, and Jim will be back with the dirt, and we will be planting some seeds.
Okay guys, so I got the seed mixed up. I'm about to sweat to death here because it is South Louisiana and it's hot. And like I was, saw it up north, they got some people that actually forecast with snow. Only a dream here. Closest we get to snow is a snowball.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
All right, but anyway, my wife has gone through and labeled them and put the date that we're planting. Bush beans in this one. We'll do cabbage in the one she's got.
These are both rows are going to be bush beans. So
right,
only needed to write it once.
On subsequent ones, I'll show one of the...
Here, I'll pull it out. And some of the other ones where we have multiple rows, I've written individual names. And the way I remember where they are is that I feel like if I cut this and then laid it directly on top, that would be the row that corresponds to the writing. So this one is here, and this one is here, and this one is here. That's how I remember it.
Don't die or leave before they come up, because I'll never remember that. I would think about it the opposite way.
Okay, but that's my organization, so.
I understand. All right, so this one's going to get the bush beans. Now the thing you want to make sure you do is plant according to package directions. These are bush beans. They're going to go 1.5 inches deep into the soil, which is about the bottom of this tray. So I'm going to kind of push them in there.
Mine are
cabbage seeds.
Cabbage, all season cabbage, and it says 1/4 inch, so I don't have to go very far at all.
Yeah, in fact, you could almost lay them on top and just sprinkle some mix on top of that.
Yeah, I'm going to kind of just move some soil over just a little bit so that I can just push it right back. So I'm using my little pokey thing here.
Okay, I'm going to use my pokey thing.
You use your
right here.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to kind of get my finger in there. And we're going to put a couple of seeds per cell. I tried to get most of the big stuff out of here when I was filling the trays up. And okay, so these seeds, as you can see, are fairly large seeds. The ones that Millie is planting are
teeny
almost
tiny.
microscopic.
Yeah. So I can't talk, I'll forget where I've put them.
Yep. Put a couple there. These look like Tic Tacs.
They do not. Tic Tacs aren't that big.
Yeah, they look like Tic Tacs. A little misshapen, but look like Tic Tacs.
They do they still have those oversized Tic Tacs?
I have no idea.
I haven't had a Tic Tac in a very long time.
Yeah, can't tell you the last time I had them. Kind of switched over to Altoids at one point.
I like icebreakers, I think they're called.
Yeah, Icebreaker's good too. I'll pick some of those up.
In the green can. If you ever get me some, Jim, in the green can.
Okay, I think that's the ones I get. Okay, the bush beans are planted. What's really cool is the seeds, not only come in an envelope with all the stuff, but it comes in a plastic bag that seals, which is fabulous because I've lost seeds because these packs have gotten wet and destroyed the seeds. So this works out quite well. Yeah, I'm really happy with
Put your seeds back
the way they're packed.
Oh, you didn't plant yours
I
yet.
haven't covered them yet. My goodness.
Take forever. Alright, so while he's covering, I can show you that this one, he's getting ready to plant tomatoes and cowpeas. And since we had an extra row because of the numbers, I decided we should do 2 rows of cowpeas. And then I have...
Well, yeah, we can have some here and some up in Mississippi.
Right.
Because they're Mississippi purple cowpeas.
That's right. And I have the sweet corn and the 2 broccolis. The 2 different broccolis. So I'm going to let him get the soil in there. I'm going to start opening my packages. Alright, let's see. My broccoli is... oh, they don't give you any kind of specifics. Just...
They should. Usually
no, it just says start indoors. So, yeah. Alright, now we don't want to
broccoli usually is not a deep plant, so I'd say about...
it's a 1/4 to a half if you did it straight in the soil outside.
Okay, well then do it about a 1/2 inch.
And then these, same thing. These do tell you on the package to start them indoors. So...
And this time of the year, we would start indoors, and I'm off to the side filling soil in case you don't see me.
Ooh,
these would start directly in the ground a lot of times, but with the problem we're having here with snails and rodents of various kinds and possums and raccoons and who knows, if really neighborhood cats and dogs, that could cause some problems with the seedlings when they start coming up. So, as I'm nervous enough about starting the lettuce in the ground as a direct seed, but I've never had lettuce actually grow well as a transplant. I've tried. So that's why I wanted to do direct seed. Alright, so cowpeas, that's going to be these 2 rows here, right?
Yes.
And the tomatoes will be up here.
Yes.
Okay, I got to double check.
Yes.
Alright, so the Mississippi purple cowpeas, they look nothing like cows.
Oh, I just did corn, and it looked like corn. Dried up corn, sweet corn. So they're all planted. Alright, and then I have, these are the Waltham broccoli.
These are the cowpeas. They're like black-eyed peas. Well, they're not singing or anything, but you can see a little eye on them right there. Yep. And the cowpeas need to be 8 inches deep. How long? How deep?
I don't know.
1/2 inch deep. So, I'm just going to go down about a 1/2 inch. Got a big piece of something right here that's blocking the way. See? You gotta watch that. So I'm gonna make a 1/2 inch depression. And then I'll drop a couple of peas in each one. Hello, cowpeas.
Alright. I'm on. Oh. I'm on DeCiccio broccoli.
Yeah, I'm really anxious to see how the broccoli turns out.
I like broccoli.
I do too.
might have mixed up that broccoli.
Oh, please don't tell me that.
Yeah, I mean I planted each, but I don't know. You'll have to look at the video and see what I did. It wasn't on the right seed packet when I went to go put it back in.
Should have given her Adderall before we did this.
No, don't say that.
Well, mixed up the broccoli.
It has nothing to do with.
Your attention span is.
No. Oh, I'm done. I'm done one.
Okay. Tomato seeds. Only got a very few of these, so I'll probably only plant one per cell. And these are 1/4 inch deep as well, so I'm just gonna make a slight indent in here, and then I'll probably just take and sprinkle seed mix on top of it.
Alright, so I have cucumber, the Rhenish pickle, and...
I'm going to say Rhine. Maybe it's from the Rhine Valley in Germany.
Okay. It says 1/2 inch deep. And then the homemade pickles, 1/2 inch deep. They look exactly the same. That's easy for me to mix up.
Oh my goodness.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. So these usually cherry tomatoes do quite well, and we get a.
Yeah, well, our cherries this year did really well. And
If we could keep our oldest grandson from picking them while they were still green.
yeah, but he likes them. It was fun. It was fun being out in the garden with the kids.
Yeah, it was. It was.
You know, as our garden was what our garden was, it was great being out there with the kids. Our bell peppers did really well. We still have bell peppers coming.
Yeah, we still have bell peppers coming. And that
I need
plant
to go
will probably
pick some right now.
produce until we get a really cold weather, even up to a hard freeze.
All right, mine are done.
Okay. These are the Jimmy Joe seeds. I had actually done raised beds years ago when we first moved here, but I had two problems. One, I think my raised beds, I only made them with 4-inch boards, so they weren't deep enough, because the ground here is horrible to try and grow in.
Well, we live in a swamp.
Yeah, and so it's filled.
So all of the ground around here has been filled because it was originally swamp. So they use whatever they can get to fill it. So if they demolish a building, that's what your fill was. So we still go out to dig in the garden, like, you know, just whatever. And you'll come up with pieces of pottery, or it's like an archaeological site.
Yeah, or even, I think the stuff came from the French Quarter. And back then, they actually used to make window glass with chicken wire embedded in it. And I've pulled up chicken glass with chicken wire in it out in our yard. So, let's see, use 1/4 inch also. Yeah. So yeah, it's stick. So it's not the best soil for planting in. And then the second problem I had, besides the beds being too shallow, was we had a substantial feral cat population here. And
not anymore, but we did.
No, not anymore. Then we had a feral cat population, and they thought that was.
Come plant it this way, since I'm finished.
Okay, and they thought these are the Radiator Charlie mortgage lifters, and they thought that was a huge litter box for them outside.
Yeah.
And so it was constantly, they would dig up the plants, you know, to go to the bathroom, and then they do their business in my bed. Well, not my bed, but in the raised bed. They were doing their business in my bed. I wonder how they got in the house. Somebody left the door open.
I was thinking that. I was like, really?
Yeah.
In your bed?
Yeah, that wouldn't have been fun.
No.
No. So,
what pea do you have down there? Look at that. You lost a pea.
I know, I saw that just now.
Is that one of the cow peas?
No, that's a bush bean.
Okay.
Cow peas are brown and they have an eye on them.
That's right. I remember you saying that. Put it back in the bag.
All right.
All right. So now we're going to put these in our silver aluminum trays, and we're going to spritz them down.
Yep. Okay, so now I'm going to wet these down. I've got the hose hooked up. Just using the mister. See, on mist. We need to renew one of these.
Yes, we do.
And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to take and water them and make sure that they are thoroughly wet. Okay, so we're back inside. Everything's watered. Sorry if you hear noise in the background. It's the air conditioner running because guess what? It's hot. If you can see my shirt, it's a little warm outside. And then if I sweat even in the freezer when I used to work in retail. So if I start moving, I sweat. But yeah, it's really hot outside, so any little bitty thing is like that. So I really hope y'all enjoyed watching this, maybe learned a little bit.
Yep. And if you do like our videos, that helps us out if you like them. Subscribe to our channel. Doesn't cost you anything, but if you hit that subscribe button, then you get notified when we have new videos coming out, and hit the notification bell. And it also helps for our videos to come up when other people are searching. So we appreciate it if you do that. We also like comments. We want comments. We want people to tell us not what we did wrong. But
even if we did something wrong, you can kind of mention, just be nice about it. I don't have a problem learning.
I do. No, anyway, don't say anything bad about me. So, all right, that's it. That's it. So I hope you enjoy the videos, and you'll come back and watch us again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you. Y'all have a great day, and we'll see you on the next video.
Bye.
Bye.